Hello, I'm Joe McDonald. This is Big Mac's Battleblog, and this is a recruitment video on behalf of the UAV company of the 34th Marines, Kherson, Coastal Defence Battalion. So, we need pilots. A change has happened, and we have gone officially now from a bit more than 30 men. We were a fat platoon to, on the books, we're meant to have 130. But we don't have those guys, not yet. So the commander has asked me to make this video to reach out to Ukrainians and international drone pilots. We want experienced men. You know, we want guys who, at the very least, have found their way onto a drone course somewhere in Ukraine, whatever platform of drones that might be, and who's passed. And we also, as Kherson is a almost entirely Ukrainian, Russian, Shuzhik, you know, there's very few English speakers there, even with command and officers. I mean, there'll be a few more, but not many. So, you know, we need guys who can communicate, who know some Russian and Ukrainian. You know, I'm not going to say like fluent is necessary, but like, you know, enough you can work, you know, and that you're willing to put more time in with. I've just woken up, sorry, maybe I should be or go and get me makeup done before I make a recruitment video, but yeah, you know, it's not what I'm about. So anyway, we need pilots who can fly drones. We need guys who can speak some Russian, Ukrainian, Shuzhik, you know, like there's a lot more to flying drones, to running a drone team, than just flying the drone. There's all kinds of stuff that you've actually got to do to make it work, because the principal job is intelligence gathering and coordination with other forces. So you need to be able to communicate to do that. But if you have been in, you know, I am no longer part of the unit. You won't have to deal with me being your fucking sergeant or whatever, you know, thankfully for both of us. But there's some good, we've got a few foreigners in the unit already. It's gone pretty well so far, you know, the good lads, and they're achieving results already. If you want to have an idea, if you spent most of your time in Ukraine out east, or maybe, you know, you want to fight the Russians, but you don't particularly like the idea of going out to the Donbass and suddenly finding yourself in an infantry role because of circumstances, you know, which is understandable. So it takes a lot of courage to want to operate in those places. Then perhaps Kherson's a really good place for you. If you look at my recent videos, that's just like sort of some of, nowhere near all, that what happened for a platoon's worth of drone teams over a 10-day period, right? That's a lot of stuff. And that, I'm going to say that there's about 60% more video available of strikes and stuff in that time that for various reasons I didn't deem it appropriate to show, or was told I couldn't. So that'll give you some idea. If you come and sign up and pass the training, and you've got a drone course and all that, like, and you know, you make your way into the unit, you will be slotting orcs day in, day out. That is what the job is, okay? You'll probably work 6 or 7 days a week sometimes, you know, but when you do come home from work, you get to, you know, buy food at a shop, you know, usually. There's still little markets and stuff that operate there, you know. The army does feed you, but what I'm saying is you can buy your own food and go and cook it in probably a sort of domestic setting where you're going to be staying, you know. So it's pretty civilized, you know, like sleep in a bed, have a real shower every day, get back up in the morning, go put your armour on, and go back into work and slot more orcs. Come home again, you know. It's sustainable. And I think, you know, that's one of the things about this war, is that a lot of places that you've got to be incredibly committed to stick at it for a long time. And I think Kherson allows that. You know, you are still, you know, if 100 people come to Kherson and sign up for the unit, or 30 people come to Kherson and sign up for the unit, some of you are going to die. Make no mistake about it. I'm just lucky, okay? Loads of people have died while I've been in Kherson, and it is more dangerous. But, you know, the only way we're going to turn that round is by having more good drone pilots to deal with it. And, yeah, you know, the fucking platoons, now we're a company, we also have a wider area. So, you know, you might get to go for some drives in the countryside and stuff like that. So, you know, it's quite a decent bit of Ukraine to be in, really. I like the south. And you've got Mykolaiv close by if you need to buy like more proper city things and go to decent military shops. Odessa's possible for the odd, you know, weekend and stuff, once you've settled in, you know, and the commanders are happy with you. Because what we want is people who are all right with getting up and going to fucking work every day and accepting that, guess what, right? When you turn up, we'll do our best to be nice for you, but there's going to be problems. There always fucking is. And the unit does not fucking revolve around you, right? So we don't want a bunch of fucking prima donnas or a bunch of guys who've just been hopping from unit to unit in Ukraine because this mission's too dangerous or this mission's too boring. Fuck off. Don't come to my fucking unit, okay? You know who you are. You might feel that you've got excuses, and maybe you did have some valid excuses to change from unit to unit to unit and never actually fucking achieve anything because you couldn't stay in one place for long enough. But it's not what we fucking need in Kherson, okay? Not what we need. We want drone pilots. We want sappers, yeah? If you're a sapper, especially if you have military records of it from your own country, or if you've worked with explosives in the civilian industry and you have records to show this, or you've got IMAS, for instance, like a demining certificate, and you want to, you know, go into the other side of the job, well, yeah, that is also something we need, because every drone team needs a guy who's building the bombs, operating the bombs on the drones, you know, and it's a dangerous job, but, you know, you'll learn, you'll be taught by experts. We just need guys who've got some paperwork, because we can't just give explosive training to every Tom, Dick and Harry who turns up, because that's how you create international terrorists down the line. So yeah, but it is a possibility. If you're a young Ukrainian and you're looking to serve your country, but again, understandably, your mum's not that keen on the idea of you going off to join like an Azov assault company, yeah, which again, very brave men, but it is understandable why she wouldn't want you to do that. Kherson, being a drone pilot, might be the one for you, you know. One of our best young drone pilots, who I call Soprano, you know, he signed the contract probably about like a year ago now, and maybe a little bit less, and he must be well over 100 dead orcs by now. Couple of hundred he must have done. And he's just a nice young lad like you. You'd never know he was a killer. And they're the kind of guys we need. We want guys who want to, you know, come and learn this technology and be part of the future of defending Ukraine. And yeah, you know, trust me, there's nothing not brave about being a drone pilot. Plenty of the guys have nearly died. Plenty of the guys have died. Plenty of the guys have got wounded. You know, you're going to get hunted by drones. You're going to get shot at by fucking tanks and artillery. There's aircraft bombs. You know, we just fortunately don't spend too much time like AK clearing trenches and crossing minefields on foot, fortunately. But yeah, it's still war. So take that into consideration. But yeah, young Ukrainians, we need English-speaking Ukrainians to help all these like great guys who've come to your country to serve work properly and make an effective drone unit. So, you know, if you're interested in that, then you should also contact, for foreigners, just go to Ternopil, 34th Marines, Coastal Defence Brigade, Kherson, UAV Company, Commander Leshy, the recruiters now. If you're a Ukrainian, maybe there's other ways. I don't read Cyrillic, dude. Fucking, you know, Google it, basically. If you've got, like, a team of guys together already, and, you know, you feel like, you know, I don't really want to become the fucking ping pong ball between all these people and them joining the unit. That's not my job anymore. But if you are already, you know, a drone team, couple of guys, and you've been on the courses and that, and you're looking for a stable unit where you will get paid, sleep in a bed every night, fuck it, unless you're on position, and still, we're in a city. It's generally not a muddy trench, you know, generally. But yeah, you know, then yeah, give us an email and we'll go from there, basically. Anyway, that's just it for me now. If you want to be a Marine, you want to be a drone pilot in Ukraine, we got openings, you know, it's expanding. So yeah, please give us an email, go directly to Ternopil or one of the other, I basically think any military commissariat you can join up for any unit at, but they might try and get you to join another unit while you're there, so maybe go directly to a Marine one in Odessa or something like that. I'm pretty sure you might have to go back to fucking Ternopil to do paperwork. I don't know. I don't do Ukrainian army bureaucracy, thank fuck, anymore. So, yeah, but the jobs are there, you know. Anyway, goodbye from me, Joe McDonald at Big Mac's Battleblog. Goodbye from Sleeping One Sock. And as always, to our pro-Russian and Vatnik listeners, Idina Hojzalupa.